Hi everyone, welcome to a new tournament coverage. We're going to cover St. Petersburg 1895. It also, I think it continued into 1896. This was a really cool tournament. It had 4 of the top players in the world playing. Arguably the top 4, maybe Tarrasch would have been considered in the top 4 also. But the 4 players were Lasker and Pillsbury, who we see in this game, the last world champion, Wilhelm Steinitz, and Mikhail Chigorin, who played for the World Championship twice. So this was a everyone played each other 6 times, I believe. So a pretty cool event, 18 games. And the world champion, Lasker, did win this tournament. However, it didn't start well. So it's white to move here. And white's position's pretty crappy already. I mean, you look at these double pawns and the king wide open and the knight threatening to come to f4. You can see that things are already looking pretty bad. White, however, played the move knight to f1. So my question to you, pause your video and figure out what move you would play for black here. So I'm going to show you now. And black has a relatively simple tactic. The rook on e1 is undefended, and so we have this discovered attack. Knight on e takes d4. And the idea is after pawn takes, simply rook takes rook. So white played the move queen to d1. Black has already won a pawn. And the question is now, how do we proceed? Feel free to pause your video and try to find the next move. Although there are multiple good moves, Pillsbury played, I believe, the best move. Pillsbury showed no mercy in this game. He could have just moved his knight back and stayed up a pawn. But no, he went for more. Knight takes f3. A beautiful little move. And the idea is that after king takes f4, this king is wide open and defenseless. There's no way to stop moves like queen h3. For example, if king g2, simply f3 check. Queen h3 and checkmate is coming on g2. Or if knight e3, queen takes h2. So instead, white played queen to d1, knight e5 check, king e2. Again, if king g2, the same type of thing with f3 and queen h3 happens. But black is totally toast here. He just traded queens, took the bishop, and he's up 2 pawns for nothing in this position. Not too much to look at. Black won very easily here. Just playing the last moves of the game for fun. h5, and basically he just resigned here. He's down 2 pawns. His knight can barely move. It's like dominated by the black pawns. No point in playing this out any further against a player of Pillsbury's level. So one thing that Lasker was known as being very strong at was psychology and kind of mental strength. And that was the key to this tournament. He loses the first game in decisive fashion to Pillsbury, who's already one of the rising stars in the chess scene. But a few things happen. Well, first let's look at the annotation at the end of the game. It says, a painful defeat for Lasker. The more impressive is his final result in the tournament. He didn't collapse after this loss with white, neither did he start to play risky, trying to take revenge. No, he continued to play in his usual manner, calm and objective, leaving emotions behind, and this self-control brought him the final victory. Pillsbury, on the other hand, started like a rocket. He started out the gate super, super strong, and then he got sick. I can't remember whether he got his syphilis during this tournament or something, but he got very sick, and in the second half of the tournament, completely collapsed. But from the first half of the tournament, it looked like Pillsbury was no joke, that he was going to, show himself to be a serious contender for Lasker's title. But the last half was a different story. He just played at a completely much lower level. That's one thing about Lasker. He was much more consistent. He didn't kind of just bounce around, like play strong sometimes, play weak sometimes. He kind of just always played his usual strong self. Again, though, who knows how much Pillsbury's illness came into play. It's very tough to say. We'll never really know. But anyway, there's a lot more games from this tournament, so stay tuned. It's going to be Lasker against some of the top players in the world. Thanks, guys, for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.